Welcome to the Dev Locker, the podcast with Pixel Primacy and myself, Legacy. Today we have special guests Andy and Leo, creators of the upcoming survival sandbox kingdom builder, Medieval Knights. What's up, guys?
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy. So
Hey.
today we're going to talk about games. That's what we do on the podcast. In particular, we're going to talk about the Medieval Knight game being developed by Andy and Leo. But before we do that, I want to get a little bit of background from them, find out about games that they played in the past, some things that they're drawing inspiration from for their game, and just get to know them a little bit as devs and creators. So let's go ahead and do that. So what was the first game that you ever played that made you think like, man, I really enjoy gaming, I love games?
Who would you like to answer first?
It doesn't matter, whoever.
Let's start
You
alphabetical order. No, let's do alphabetical order. Andy
first
and
name or
Leo.
last name? Because if it's first name, I win, but if it's second name, he wins.
Oh,
All right, well, we introduced you as Andy and Leo, so we're going to go by first names.
Okay, all right, that works. I was really young, and I remember playing original Zelda with my grandfather, and I was never able to shake it. He ended up passing when I was younger as well, and so I think something between the game and his memory being attached to it, gaming just became a very important part of my life. And so Zelda, the gold cartridge that went into the Nintendo.
Yeah, dude, I
Yeah,
had that same
that
exact cartridge,
Yeah.
man. Wow,
Yeah.
the nostalgia. Yeah, an incredible game, too.
it's great.
That's awesome. Okay, very cool. And Leo, what about you?
The first game that I ever played was actually the Super Mario Brothers on the Super Nintendo. But the first game that actually made me really enjoy video games was Legend of Dragoon. I played that game for hours on end, just sitting there farming to level up so I can beat the next area. But I would always level up too much to where I was just overpowering everything.
Legend of Dragoon. I've never heard of that. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
So Legend of Dragoon is a JRPG that it starts off with basically a village has been destroyed by people, and there's these little crystals. They look like orbs, but they go to special individuals, and those special individuals are able to use those crystals to transform, almost like Power Ranger-esque type transformations. And they got powers based on the dragon type that they are. And so it's like Final Fantasy, but then in the actual combat mechanics of things, you're able to have quick time events to where you're able to work on combos and stuff like that. So if you something will come up on the screen that's like a circle and it'll close in fast, and then if you press the button at the right time, it'll extend the combo of your attack. And so you can think of it like a old style of Expedition 33.
Like the original, the OG.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah, that is cool. I'm going to be watching some YouTube on that tonight, looking at that game a bit. That's freaking awesome.
These
I
do,
never heard
man.
of
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Before
I'm
we
definitely
go
gonna do
any further, I want to check the audio real quick and make sure that everybody can be heard properly. So I might need to turn some people up on Discord and let's turn you up and you up. Let's get some mic checks real quick. And go ahead.
Yep.
Deal check.
Howdy. Mic check.
Yep.
Mic check.
All right.
Deal check.
I think that that's better now. I think we should be able to go forward. Sorry about that.
No problem. All right. So how long have you been deving for?
Let's see. 2023. So about
Okay.
3 years.
I mean, if you want to talk professionally or like hobby wise, because if we go by hobby wise, I've been developing and coding since I was 13 years old, and so that's about 23 years now.
Wow,
Okay.
that's really cool.
But professionally, where it's like I actually had, school and book knowledge has been the last like 3 years.
And how much do you think that schooling and book knowledge, like, transformed how you look at deving and creating games and stuff?
Oh, it's completely changed it. Like it, I never really thought about encapsulation or modularity as much before I actually came into the school. Like it, I knew kind of like what I was doing because everything I had done was self-taught. I would find something that would work, and then I would rip it apart to figure out why it did what it was doing, and then kind of push it to be what I want it to be, sort of situation. So, like, if I had I coded on this thing called Beyond way back in the day. BYOND. They had their own dream language and everything like that that you had to code in, and people made rips of games. So ripping is where you take a game that is already pre-made, and you basically get the source code of it. And so they would put these games onto Beyond, and I found one that I really liked, and I went and grabbed it, and I started messing with it, and I found that I really, really enjoyed messing with the code that was in the game. So that was kind of like my very beginning of coding. But
Wow.
yeah, this the school has changed it to where I actually know the names of things. I know how to manipulate things a lot better, and I actually can speak on a professional level on what I'm doing instead of just like, yeah, you put the thing in the thing, and that will do this and that and this.
Okay, so also like learning how to explain it to somebody else or get your like point or themes across in like dev terms, or explain it to another like developer as well.
Absolutely.
Very
It
cool.
allows me to articulate what I'm trying to get across to people instead of fumbling through words that may or may not make sense to them.
Excellent. And what about you, Leo?
That was Leo.
That was Leo.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay, brother.
Sorry. Okay. Cool. Pop, do you have anything you wanna?
I do have some questions here. What are you gonna do in your game to kind of compact PvP and like griefing, like versus like just straight griefing versus PvP? Like, what?
1 second.
Where would you?
Can we
draw
go
the
into
line?
Medieval Knights first?
Yeah. Oh, you wanna go in and
I just feel like it's a better. I'm sorry. I feel like we should introduce the game first before
You're
and then
absolutely
ask
right.
a lot of questions about it. Yeah, that's all.
So yeah.
So the reason why Andy and Leo are here is because they are creating a game called Medieval Knights on Steam.
Yes.
Right? I believe it's going to be
Yes.
on Steam soon. Yeah, it is a sandbox survival game. Okay. And so yeah, they're creating it, and we're going to ask them questions about it. And the first question is going to be Pixel.
Sorry, I'm working on fixing the game real quick. Give me a second. I think that I may have had not pulled correctly. Sorry, what was the question?
Well, it was what you were going to ask them. It was your original question. I kind of just wanted to, because like if you're going to post a YouTube video, then we're going to like edit a little bit of it, I assume.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
I can do that. It won't take long, right? So I think that we should like introduce them, like introduce the game, which we've done, right? Medieval Knights.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's
It
going to
is
be
a
great.
great night.
And now we're asking questions about Medieval Knights, right? And the first question was your question.
Yes. So which? How long until we have an idea on a demo? I know that that's something that y'all wanted to bring up, and I wanted to see if y'all would like to talk about y'all's demo. Sorry, I know that's something that's coming up soon.
Oh, there's
You
a
want to take it or you
demo.
want me to?
Go ahead, Leo. We're working towards it, but Leo is pretty much project lead, and so he knows about all the moving gears. So I'll let him do this one.
So we're pushing more towards so we're going to be calling it a demo, but we're pushing towards a play testable version of the game to launch here onto Steam within the next couple of days. And by next couple of days, I mean within Wednesday or Thursday, depending on whenever Steam wants to approve our Steam page. Once we have that Steam page up, we'll be able to push a playtest build onto the page and allow people to get in there, playtest things for us. That will be more or less the baseline of what the game is at the moment, and give us a good heading on where we need to go with the rest of it. We're looking at making it available as soon as possible, so hopefully by tomorrow, maybe Thursday, but of course I'm not holding my breath because Steam is Steam and they're going to take their time reviewing everything. So but that is our plan as of right now, and then once we have that sort of feedback, we'll have things in there that will point to all of our socials. We have a thing in there that will point to our Discord, and we also have we have survey and bug reporting in the playtest/demo that people are able to go and give us feedback on things that they enjoy or what they don't enjoy, so that we're able to reiterate what we need to and provide a good experience for the players, because at the end of the day, that's what this is for.
All right, so there's something going on with my project, so it'll probably be better if one of you open it up and stream, because I think I just broke mine.
All right, give me a second. I'll pull and I'll stream it up.
Sorry about that.
It's all good.
The next question I want to ask about the demo is, I know that the whole point of the demo is to get feedback from players, what they like, what they don't like, what's happening, because you can just get a much larger volume of data through that. And with indie development, like getting as much data as we can through free play is really the best way that we can build with the community, I think.
That's pretty much what the goal is. We're super pre-alpha demo, so this is the kind of thing where everybody should expect bugs, and some ranging from little to critical, but there's only so many of us on this. We don't have millions in funding. It's just some guys with some passion building up a game. And so, getting people's input, we can build it with everybody. Instead of just saying, hey guys, here's another game that you just get shoved down your throat. We want to build the game that the people want.
Interesting. I definitely like that take from the devs, right? I think if you carry that with you, then you'll most likely be successful if you have a good concept. Because the gamers are, as a gamer, I feel like a lot of gamers feel unheard.
Yeah,
I mean, as they should. You have the AAA companies that don't care about the actual experience. All they care about is the bottom line, and whether you're on the top or the bottom of that bottom line.
Yep.
For sure. The great thing about these guys is they already have a community Discord where they're actively engaged, they're actively involved with their community. They're doing social media videos, they're doing stuff with the community already. So if you're interested in having a community where the devs and the players get to interact, then this is a game where I think you'll like, especially if you like building stuff and crafting and fighting wolves and stuff.
Does the game have PvP?
It does.
It will have more aspects of PvP. Right now, it is very bare bones of what it is.
Okay.
Right. We've got we've got big dreams for it. but I can't iterate enough. Like, this all started with 4 guys coming out of the bachelor's degree. That was like, yo, we built something really cool here. We should not just let it fall to the wayside. And so, everything we've done has been us just trying to push it. So, again, when you guys look at the demo and you play the demo, just remember, like, tell us what you want, tell us what you need. We have huge dreams, but we want that to intersect with you guys, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to be playing the demo. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be
100%.
fun. I haven't even
Building
seen
right
it.
now.
I'm going to play it, so yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
There is a
And I'll
building
give
system.
feedback.
Can't wait to try to break it.
Oh, please
Feel
do.
free.
Break
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm good at breaking games.
That's my favorite pastime is finding bugs to fix. So
All I ask is if you guys get any really awesome game breaks or anything like that, when I say awesome, something that would put us all on our bellies laughing here at the studio, please make sure you send those to us. We would love to see those. Don't keep them to yourself.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is cool.
almost done.
No worries.
Yep.
We got some more questions around here anyways. Let me get back over here to my questions. So on power scaling in your PvP, is it going to be skill based PvP, like, or gear based, or both? Like,
Will it be
I
like a
think it's gonna
grind
be-
attached to it, where like the more you play, the more powerful you get, like a game like Destiny, or like more competitive side, like Apex, or maybe something more chill, like Rust, like a sandbox experience, like Rust.
So it's really going to be designed to be up to the player. So you're going to have your talent trees and your skills. We are kind of trying the skills and weapon system in a very unique way to make it a little bit different than everything else. A lot of games you can put a certain staff on and you have access to all your spells, regardless of if it's a staff or a wand. We want it to be a little bit more dependent on your gear with what you're able to do. So, you can't cast a spell with the sword and so on and so forth. To really say that it's any one of those would be a misnomer, as it's really, your gears, your skills, and your talents all mixed together into one to actually replicate your class. There are no classes in the game. You build your class. And so when you go up against somebody, if they are better geared or their skills outweigh your gear, there's a potential they can win. So we want each encounter to be completely unique based on how each person has built their character.
Oh, that's very cool. I like it.
I like it a lot, and
With a lot of options, big skill tree. Sounds
that
fun.
is a cool menu screen you got going on here. You want to talk about that for a minute before we go any further? Or
That is all Andy.
So I don't like your conventional flat screen menus. They always kind of bothered me. Back in the day, it was okay, but we're getting into I'm a UI UX specialist. For one, that's what I specialize in, and so the user experience for modern day, we're not looking to just play a game anymore. We're looking to be dropped into a world. We're looking to be dropped into an existence. I mean, it's hard to say every game is not a simulation. That's what we're searching for in all of these games. We want to simulate being a pirate. We want to simulate being a business owner. You got fast food restaurants, all of this stuff. And so I feel like the menu is the entrance into this world. So the menu for this is living. As you can see, it feels like you're coming up into the world. If you will hit creation there for me, I would appreciate it. That little, oh, you know which one it is. Yeah, there you go, brother.
oh wow, that's
So
nice.
as we go on, you're going to be able to create your character in here. You'll be able to have multiple characters, and they'll all kind of sit back in the back, and so you'll be able to have different builds. I know a lot of people play things like World of Warcraft, right? And very few people have just one character. I don't know almost anybody that only has one character. They want to experience the game through different builds and such. And so the creation menu eventually is going to evolve to where you're able to come in here, completely customize your character. It's mostly going to be looks because all of your skills, talents, and your build evolve in the game with you. But when you go back to the main, you'll click main for me again, Mr. Leo. The last character you played with will actually be sitting here at this campfire interacting with it. So you won't have to go into creation every time. You'll be able to see exactly what character you have right here. And then you have your general like options. You'll rotate over there. We're getting this all straightened out. But you'll have your basic settings, full screen color assist, resolutions, all the audio.
I'm doing a podcast right now, Lisa.
But obviously everything is going to be about creating the game. So you'll have two options. You'll be able to start a server or host a server, or join a server. So if you can choose either one, Leo. It doesn't really matter. Start or join. So if you come over here, this is actually a good one. So you'll see up here at the top left, the first thing we can do is adjust map size, which this is a beautiful marriage between Mr. Leo's work
I'm muted
and my
if
work.
you want to let her out.
All of these sliders adjust the variables that his procedural generation is based on. So no two maps will potentially end up being the same. And so you can go through here, not only generate a random procedure map, but also say, hey, I want more trees, or I want more rocks, I want more ore, and make your procedural more catered again to how you want to play the game.
Wow.
So, yeah, each map will be completely different. Huge is generously huge. When I say, yeah, it's massive. I think massive is a much more appropriate way to go with that. But massive, like actually massive. So we're doing a little bit more optimization to make sure that everything is really smooth for the player here when they go to those maps. But on the massive, but so far everything is really easy for players to get into, and yeah, it's a living menu. We want to make sure that from the moment you get into the game, you feel like you are a part of the game. So,
Okay. Nice.
Thank
Very
you.
exciting. Very exciting.
Nice
So
touch
what are
there,
you
man.
most excited for the players to experience in your game?
I think that's rough, right? Because okay, so Leo's an AI specialist, so he's gonna have his own I can't wait for them to experience this.
It would be
Um,
different for each one of us.
Yeah, so let's
Yeah.
hear it.
100.
So let's hear it for both of you.
For me, it's obvious. It's the UI. I want to try to break down your conventional UI. Things like the Pip-Boy is a really good example. Your UI is a part of the game, not just a static object. And so as the UI develops, I want it to feel like it's a part of the game, not just a window, if that makes any sense. And so I'm excited to get the feedback and see what people think about that.
But, yeah, I
That's
like.
exciting. I'm excited to use it myself, get my hands on it.
For me, it is, yes, I do like the AIs and such, but I want somebody to come into a world and be amazed at the stuff they can find in it, because it's all procedural generated. Every bit of it is I don't hand place anything. It is, I give it some parameters, or even you give it some parameters in here, and it generates a completely new map each time that you're in there. And I think that is one of the things that players have longed for a long time, is that exploration, that finding of cool stuff just out and about. And a lot of games don't do that anymore. They're just, we make a level, you play in the level, cool, you find the Easter eggs or whatever we hide somewhere. But I want you, like in Minecraft, there's plenty of places that you can go, and it's just such a cool thing to look out and be like, yeah, I can see the snow biome over there right beside the desert, and I'm up on a mountain and stuff, and it's like this beautiful view. I want to create that in a more high fidelity environment.
Okay. Exciting.
What would be a high compliment from somebody to receive? What if somebody said this about your game? it would make you happy, what would it be?
Honestly,
I
for
wanna
me, it
play
would
this.
just be I enjoyed playing it. Like it doesn't matter past that for me.
Awesome.
I would play this with my friends.
Awesome.
Telling me that you would play it with someone else, I think would be fantastic.
Awesome. What's one thing that you thought was going to be easy that turned out to be a nightmare and caused a lot of problems? Leo, you can go first since you're laughing.
Oh goodness. Okay. So everybody else, like Andy has said, we started this in the bachelor's degree, and so we had 2 months to just like blast out as much as we could, and I think I did probably the least amount of work in those 2 months out of all four of us, because I did a couple of AIs just to have something to fight, and then the entire rest of the time I did nothing but work on this procedural generation, because I was like, I need to get this down, I need to get this to work, because this is like the core aspect of like what we're trying to do. And so it was like, if I don't get this to work, then I have nothing to show. And so I was like, I can't be too difficult, right? Never. There's no like tutorials on how to do this. How I do it. There's nothing telling people, hey, this is exactly how you make a procedural generated world. No, nothing like that. So it was very difficult to piece things together to be like, okay, I can do this, I can do that, and then I got a whole build working. I was like, finally, all right, cool, we're good, guys. Like, this works. We can move on. And then we bring the build to like an actual live build, and my wolves fall through the floor. They fall through the map, and that is the day that I learned that you cannot use Unreal Engine's nav mesh on a procedurally generated mesh. So then I had to go back and redo, and I had to basically remake a nav mesh from scratch for the entirety of the map. So yeah.
So that was probably quite intense.
Do you know how long that took, by chance?
So it took me I found out I think it was a week before the last assignment was due, that the wolves were falling through the floor. And once I found that out, I had to basically scramble to try and figure out how to do at least a little bit of a nav mesh. And so it took me probably a couple months after I actually got into the master's degree right now to actually fix my nav mesh to where it's usable. And so the nav mesh is a lot better than what it was. Probably not a lot of people are gonna know, but I use a thing called nav mesh invokers. Now the animals in the AI will actually kind of plot an area around them that they're able to move to, and it helped fix it a lot to where they're no longer running and dying in the air anymore. They still do occasionally, because nothing I do is perfect, but I get it as close as I can.
What was the question again? I apologize. I completely forgot what.
I'm sorry, I rambled off, Andy. My bad.
No. I just have a short attention. That's what.
To be honest, I remember.
It was something along the lines of like, what is something that is harder than you expected it to be?
Yeah, that's what it was. What is something that you thought was going to be like a breeze and it turned out to be super challenging? It was from Pixel.
Optimization. I think it's one of those things with big dreams, right? You come into it, you know that you can each independently do these really awesome things, and we go and we build this awesome stuff. And you just get carried away with building, that sometimes you forget that little thing right there didn't work with this. It's keeping everything organized and optimized. It was significantly harder than I expected it to be.
Yeah, Another thing, we keep talking about bachelor's and master's degrees, but we've yet to shout out the college yet. So let's do that. It's Full Sail University.
Yeah, it is
Full
Full Sail
Sail.
University.
Yeah, it's awesome. By the way, great college. Highly recommend.
How did all of you hear about the university?
Full disclosure, it is Google Ads knowing my favorite color was orange and hit me with a orange banner that caused me to click on it, and I ended up in college a month later. Quit my career.
Mine is so I had heard about Full Sail whenever I was a lot younger because they've been around for a hot minute. I had seen ads for them on like Cartoon Network and shit like that, like during Adult Swim, because I was up at that time. But essentially, so a little backstory, I guess, just to derail this even more. I was in the Navy for 8 years, and so whenever I was going to get out of the Navy, I was like, I want to be a hacker because I like to code, and that's what hackers do, right? And so I went to a class that was like cybersecurity and like white hat training and stuff like that, and I was like, this shit sucks.
This
So,
is not video games.
Yeah, this is not what I thought it was gonna be. So I like messaged my wife and I was like, "Hey, so this sucks. I'm gonna find something else to do. I think I want to go make video games." And she's like, "Okay, well, if that's what you want to do, find somewhere that you want to go." I was like, "Okay, cool." And I type in, game development colleges, and I found, and the first one that came up was Full Sail. So I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll fill in my information. I'll get more information from it." And so I fill in the information, and I hit enter to send the information, and I went to go click to go to another, go back to Google, and my phone was already ringing from Full Sail. So I was like, oh, I mean, okay.
That's basically
like,
what
it's here.
happened
I'm
to
going
me.
to take it. So what
They'll
I'm hearing
pay
is
a
that they
recruitment,
have
man.
really
They
good
do help.
outreach.
They have
Sorry?
amazing outreach. Yes.
Absolutely.
When I was going to do Full Sail, I was actually I did not get a bachelor's degree at Full Sail. I went for software development, and small derail for me is that I made a video game called Boss Battle Arena to keep my skills sharp, and another one called Who's the Boss Now? And I did those in Godot, and I did those mainly to keep developing my development skill sharp. And then I fell in love with video game development, and I was like, how am I going to get a job doing this? Because all of my experience was in Godot, and nobody hires for Godot developers. So I decided to go to college for it, and I found Full Sail, and I found these guys, and it's been really fun.
Nice. Okay. Very good. And now we're all about to be testing each other's games and stuff. This is good. Medieval Knights.
Yeah, so I know that you're still in super early development. What would be the best? What would you want the players to feel in the first 10 minutes of what you have so far?
Sorry, one more time. My headphones broke up a little bit. I'm sorry.
No worries. What do you want the players to feel in the first 10 minutes of your game?
Opening experience.
Yeah.
Excitement. Earlier, y'all asked me about the first time I played a game. With my grandfather, I would say I want to feel like that raw excitement of, oh, what's this do? Where am I? What's going on? Oh, that's raw excitement.
Okay.
Mine is generally the same. It's the wonder of it, because it's not there to hold your hand. It's not there to show you the ropes. It wants you to explore. It wants you to find things, and I think that's the best feeling that it could portray to people, is that sense of wonder.
Okay. So what's the basic gameplay loop gonna be?
You can think of it as sort of a marriage between Ark and fantasy. It's the think Ark, but instead of dinosaurs, it's dragons and goblins and magic instead of tech and stuff like that. If you've ever played Ark at all, but so
I played
it's
some Ark.
you start out, you go farm trees, farm stones, make your little base, and then build up as you go. Eventually, you will have what is called a town center, and that town center you'll place at obviously the center of your town, the center of your kingdom, and that will actually claim area for you on the map. And this is where the kingdom builder aspect of things come into play, because you no longer are just a person that is trying to survive; you're trying to thrive. And so you will have people coming to your door asking, do you need blacksmith? Do you need a woodworker? Do you need somebody to help skin animals, et cetera, et cetera? And these people work as they're called serfs at first, which is a term for like basically a servant. And they're a classless type of worker. Whenever they gain enough experience and they learn a trade, let's say you have a serf that's working in blacksmithing and he levels up his blacksmithing enough, he will actually become your kingdom's blacksmith. Or you can send him away and just find somebody that's automatically a blacksmith. Either way. But you have this kingdom that you have built. You'll build up your walls, you'll protect your stuff from raiders and other players that want to take your stuff for their own kingdoms, or want to break down your walls to take some of your territory. And you'll build up ultimately to protect this place from within the story. His name is Teresh. He's an evil mage dude that wants to absorb the universe.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Teresh, the evil mage. I like the name.
It is.
I'm excited.
It absorbed the universe. That's ambitious.
So how many people are you going to be able to like play with at a time or in a server?
We're playing around with a couple of different ideas, like so how we showed the character creation in the front end of the game. We want that character to be the character you build and you hop around with him, right? So if I go play with my friend over here and I do all of this work and I build up my character, I can still take that character to my world. You know what I mean? We don't want you to be locked behind that, though it may not end up as such for the demo. Like we said, the demo is going to be very rough. But outside of that, we're thinking 16 people on any one server, peer to peer.
That seems reasonable, honestly.
Yeah.
So that would likely keep people from having these guilds that go through and terrorize servers. Like,
I mean, it's possible, but we also have varying map sizes, so it would also depend on what map size you want and whether those like maps would be conducive with like your other friends' maps and stuff. So, like if you have a character, like your character that you have that is not a you would be able to pop them into other people's, but let's say you want to play on a private cluster of maps and stuff like that. That would have to be locked to a specific character or a specific range of characters within that map itself. It allows people to have a little control while still allowing you to maintain a I want to jump between this map and my buddy's map type thing.
Okay.
So, can you show us anything from the game currently?
Sure. So this is obviously the creation for the server. You can set it up however you like. I'm just going to leave it as base default right now with a tiny map so it doesn't take too long to load in. And whenever you load into the game, it will actually it'll generate everything in the map. All of this is procedurally generated, and you'll see it actually load the assets as we're standing here, and it's
That's
based
true.
on how close you are to it. But this is our base model guy. This is what he looks like right now, and I'm actually in build mode, showing you him right now. So you have the regular mode where walking around and such. The player. There's dynamic weather, dynamic sky, but I mean, there's plenty to show. We can farm these oranges from a tree.
Quiet.
Gives us oranges that we can eat. Like in the top left is our health, our food and hydration bar, as well as our stamina. And it also later on it will include our mana and our EXP that are
Kaya,
currently not
please
there.
be quiet.
And in the top right, you can see our mini map, and this mini map is it will change with however the map is procedurally generated. So right now we're at 50% plains, 50% forest, and so if I go in here, you can actually see the map as it is. And this is a very rough rendition of it right now because there's no textures or anything like that. This is the very basic, hey, we have a map type thing. And so it will change based on what your parameters are. And so if I were to leave and come back in with it being 40% forest and 60% plains, it would be a completely different layout than this. Because it's seed based, but on top of seed based, it's also percentage based. So you could have the exact same seed, but let's say one person has 30% forest and the other one has 60% forest. It'll be two completely different maps.
That's crazy. It's awesome.
if you want, Leo, you can show that image I just sent you to kind of show a more advanced generational map.
But one second, I will show it. Change stream.
So while he's getting that ready, what feature did y'all argue about the most? About implementing, like, oh, we gotta have this, and one person did or didn't want it.
The radio will. I think if we were to say one specific object, because you have to understand. Okay, so Leo and myself are both we're creators, like most of us are. I mean, I think we all are here. So creators automatically have. There's a reason it's titled Creative Differences, right? But Leo and I have found that when we argue on something, if we find the dead middle of that, that's where we create some form of gold, right? And so to say which thing we've argued about is silly. We've argued about just about everything you could argue
really
about. But the one thing that I really just did not want to do for no reason at all was the radio wheel. And then I'm sitting there one day and we're like, how can we make this system work really good? And I'm like, oh, a radio wheel, dang it. And so now we have the radio wheel. He won that one because he was right.
Yeah, show it. Here's our radio wheel.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Very nice.
So this is for our building system. We're able to. So you'll go into build mode and actually choose what you want to build through the radio wheel. And now I'm able to place these down, and it'll actually build a ghost of what it is. And I can either clear it or I can even make other things. This has taken a lot of effort from basically all of us to get this to
Everybody.
working.
Yeah. The UI to make it work, Leo with the building rights, making all the player interactions appropriate. Yeah, this has been a group effort to get this building
But
working.
now you can see I need 5 wood logs for each one of these. I need 10 wood logs and 10 small stones for this. And so I'm going to go find one. I'm going to go find some wood real quick. And then, because on the ground, you'll find, like, it's a survival game. You're gonna go around finding wood and stone all over the place. Ours, you're not gonna punch a tree for wood as of right now. We actually have no punching animations, so
I don't know that I want to punch wood though. I
I've, I've,
prefer the whole pick it up because I don't know when any
I've
survivalist has
I've
ever
always
run up
found
to a
it
tree and
funny.
punched
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say I've always found it funny that we punch trees to get wood because I'm not punching a tree to get wood. I'll tell you that right now. That's gonna hurt my hand.
100% never punching a tree. Thank you
So yeah,
for doing that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. We want it to be realistic. We most survivals, as we've gone through with our school and everything, we've studied about the leniency that has been adopted for players. That when you go and dodge out of the
It's
way,
so
and for
difficult
some
to see
reason
now.
that thing seemed to hit you even though it wasn't supposed to. These are things because devs have studied you. We want to get back to the basics to where it's realistic. It's not about selling a copy. You know what I mean?
Or it's really hard to see in the forest at night. It's just
It's
really hard to see.
so hard. But that's okay. That's something that'll get better.
Well, I mean, it will get better whenever we get a torch. The torch is coming.
Yeah.
Rights is
Torch
working on
will
it.
help.
Let's see, where are we going? I need wood. I don't need stone, game. Please give me wood.
There's
See,
Man,
this is already the real feeling of a survival game. Like, I cannot
Right,
find the wood that I need.
Yeah.
It's like I could cut these down, but I need wood to make to make an axe to cut the damn things down. Five. Okay, so this I'm gonna go around here and let's see if I can find any more while I'm running. Because not only is it dark out, but it's also raining, which makes it even darker. Ba, ba, ba.
also so everybody knows there is a setting in there on those little sliders we were talking about on the front end. There's a thing called props. These are the props, the little things scattered throughout the world. So, if someone wants to have this portion of the game be a little easier for them, just increase the amount of props in the world. And then
I
the
should
map
have
is
done
going
that.
to. It's okay though. We didn't think about it. You went with default. You went with the original OG gameplay.
This is what you would be like if you didn't do anything to the settings.
Oh, wow. Let's see.
I mean, you're still finding stuff at a decent rate.
Yeah, I feel like this is
We didn't want it to
pretty...
be like you find it like every like walking is like, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy, ooh, piece of candy.
Right.
It's like walk a little bit, all right, then you can find your candy. Work for it a little bit.
No, we
Right,
did
yeah.
not study how far it should be in between each one to keep your attention. This was not studied.
This is actually pretty good. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like...
I think, I would agree.
I feel like
it went from being dark to raining, and now it's back to
And
being dark.
yeah,
Love it.
keep in mind with the weather and day cycles
You know what?
that these are not the current times. This is the our development time cycles to make sure everything's working. There we go. That's a bit better.
You can't stop an ARC player. I'll just turn the game up
That's funny.
until it
Oh, no,
snows.
it's
And I can't see a damn thing.
No, it's like, hey, I'll just block out the skies.
All right. Here we go. So, this took a while to do. I have 8. All right, cool. So, getting this was probably really, really difficult for me. But the things you build will actually fill in as you're building them, and
I like that. It looked like a little heat map.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a little heat map.
It does look like a heat map. It's okay. Good work causes heat.
All right, so now I'm gonna see if I can find 10 because the like yes, that look nice and everything like that, but the campfire looks really, really good as it's filling in.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
But I mean, while I'm looking for stuff, feel free to ask questions.
Yes, more questions. Let's see.
That looks good. I'm excited to get in here and do some stuff. How many like hours are you gonna have to play maybe before you get like some basic weaponry?
you can get basic weaponry pretty quickly. Like right now, if I wasn't using this to build those things, I could in here. There's a crafting menu, and I'm able to build like a stone greatsword.
Yeah, give him a little object. Yeah, build a pickaxe or something.
As soon as I find enough wood to do so, I will build one.
That's fair. So, I mean, it's not really an hour thing, right? It's about, again, the player's dedication to what they want to do, right? Because when we say skills or talents, we're not just talking about your combat prowess. We're also talking about the person that invested skill points because they've been crafting and building up their base. So, they haven't specialized much in combat. Instead, they can create steel weapons or they can create iron weapons where the person that's done all the combat, they kind of have to rely on either traders or what will eventually be serfs. You'll be able to recruit people for your kingdom and assign them to these jobs. And so it allows the player, oh, well, I don't want to be a blacksmith. I'm going to go save this person, and Joe Blacksmith is going to make my really awesome armor. I'm going to be a combat guy. And so there's near infinite possibilities with how each kingdom would potentially play out. And that's why we want the PvP. When we say player versus player, we don't want it to be just combat player versus player, right? We want it to be economical player versus player or player with player. If you have 16 people on a server, they're on another part of the island that happens to spawn more resources. Maybe we can create a trade network and you trade back and forth.
That social experience that goes along with it, not just a you have stuff, I want stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that's a very boring way to play, especially these sandbox survival games, because it takes the social aspect of things, and it's like it is no longer a conversation. It is you are a villain, and I'm going to fight you now type of situation.
Right, exactly. Maybe there's 16 people on the server, and one of these serfs that we've recruited, we assign them to be a trader, right? And we establish a trade route between these two people that are allies. If someone wants to raid the trade route, that creates interesting gameplay. But it's not so much griefing at that point if you didn't guard your trade cart while they're going across, And it can create a very dynamic environment where each server, if someone wants to run a dedicated server, so to speak, where each one could really grow in ways that we hope we can't even imagine right now.
So the equipping is not working for me as of right now, so that's something that's going to have to be worked on. Some rights aspect things.
We're working on multiplayer, getting everything squared away. So when we originally built the game, we built the game as a single player, and then we saw the possibility for all these things that we're talking about right now. And so we've been recently introducing multiplayer. So certain things are getting paid for with their tech debt. This is one of them.
But this is nice. Let's see if I can build it. All right, here we go. And it builds in, it fills in everywhere. It looks really, really good. This one actually takes a little bit longer. And then, boom.
Oh, very nice. I think it should take a little longer because it uses more resources. That makes sense.
Yep.
Right.
And then you're able to go in here and actually, if I had any meat, I'd be able to make cooked meat. I wonder if I can do it for free. Hold up.
I don't think we ever assigned.
Hey.
Very nice.
Yeah, we never assigned a cost to it. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So that's we can do that, and then there's the other crafting tables that we're able to build. Which is right now the workbench. We have the other meshes for things, but then we can also make a chest and have a nice little chest here. But I have no iron ore to make it. If I place things into let's say if I place things in here, and I were to quit the game, it's already saved everything because it saves it either every 5 minutes or it saves it whenever I decide to close the world. Those things will still be in there whenever I decide to quit out. So everything saves correctly. It saves the world entities. So if I break that tree down right there, that tree's no longer going to be there when I come back. Unless it has respawn, but it's not going to be in that direct area. But yeah, this is generally it right now. Like while I was running around, you saw deer, you saw wolves. I kind of avoided them because I can't fight them right now. So, but yeah, this is the essence of Medieval Knights as it is right now.
That's awesome. I really like it.
Looking forward to doing some collecting, building, farming, raiding.
Definitely. So, what makes this different from other survival builder games like Valheim and Rust and stuff like that?
There's quite a few things because the survival sandbox games that are out there right now, a lot of them are just that. They're just survival sandbox. There's nothing special about them. They'll have some that are like Ark to where you have, tames and stuff that do stuff for you, or you'll have things like in Conan to where it's I think they're called thralls to where they work for you and such, but they're not like living entities with their own personalities, their own wants, their own needs, and stuff like that. Whereas we intend to have serfs that, like, hey, if your blacksmith wants to make XYZ to help level up his blacksmithing, it is no longer a, like, that is just, you have to go and get this thing. It is, hey, if you want your blacksmith to do better, you need to go and actually go on this quest for him. You need to help him out with what he's looking for. And on top of that, we have the kingdom building aspect of things. It's no longer just I build a base out in the woods
Right.
or the shore or anything of that nature. It is I am claiming territory. This territory is mine, and if you encroach on that, that is an act of war.
If I may. So, you can see, and like he was saying, a lot of these games they have a specified trope, right?
Mhm.
Something that is just we call them USPs, unique sell points or unique selling points. For Ark, it's the dinosaurs. There's a new game that we're playing right now. It's called Windrose. For them, it's the pirate ship, right? It's still the sandbox for survival builder, but it's got the ships. You have things like Craftopia, where it's all these nice mechanisms. You have Minecraft, where it's about building up these big bases and getting to explore the mines. What every single one of these games share in common, there is zero repercussions for your base building. Your base is simply a static point in the world. So you build, and congrats, you've built your base. But in here, like he was saying, the kingdom building is the centralized premise of the game. When we get to, Castle Power 10, and I've got guys guarding the pillars, and we've got a blacksmith, we've got a tailor, got a guy working the field, and there's something worth taking. Your castle power is going to automatically kind of trigger to Toresh and his denizens, hey, let's go raid these guys. So while all of these other games have some other trope while you build, we want a builder where the trope is the building. When you build your castle, you create reason for things to occur. So, if you want to stay at level 1, I mean, you're not really going to get anything you won't ever be able to develop. So you're going to naturally have to grow up. This naturally causes raiders, skeletons, corruption to come towards your castle. It creates a very symbiotic relationship with your building.
So the more you advance, the more advanced the game becomes.
Correct. It scales with you instead of being stagnant.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's exciting.
It is very exciting.
And one more time, when is the demo going to be ready?
If
Soon,
everything
right?
goes right, it's gonna be this week. If in a perfect world, it is out released this week.
Okay. And
That's
where
very
do we
soon.
where do we
Yes.
get the information about it?
So you can follow us on any of our socials. We've got TikTok, and you can Midnight Forge Studios on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We have our own Discord that I'm sure Pixel would be able to put into a description somewhere
I will.
for people to join.
Yeah, I found you on TikTok. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link in my Discord too, just in case.
I appreciate it.
Involved, yeah, for sure.
We will.
Midnight Forge. Forge Studios.
We'll make sure we get all the links to put into the video.
Yeah. For sure.
All right.
I don't have any more questions.
No,
Pixel?
it was
Yeah.
great getting to know some more about your game and getting to showcase it.
I appreciate you guys having us. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
We appreciate the
absolutely.
opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, Leo. And I look forward to Medieval Knights. Hopefully it comes out this week. Everything aligns and we'll be playing it, this week. That'll be good. So,
That's the hopes. That's the dreams.
Awesome. Thank you.
sweet. Thanks a lot. Medieval Knights, guys.